Where do antioxidants come from? The first thing is they are not in processed foods. We have to be very careful because there's a lot of things out there that in the processing of that food are basically rendered dead. There may be some left over, and this is the claims that you got to be careful with all types of supplements. I don't care whether the ones I represent or I don't care. Supplements are not the cure-all. And you've got to be careful when you see these things that are in boxes and cans and plastic bags and all these things, because if they have been processed, there's some level of loss in that processing. Now, there are processing methods where the heat does not get high enough, and they can dehydrate whole foods and still keep most of their antioxidant properties. But you have to, if you're going to take something, take the time to evaluate and do some research on it before you start taking it based on claims. Now, of course, the best place to find antioxidants are where? Cooked fruits and vegetables.
Raw.
No, right. Raw fruits and vegetables. Like I just said, if you take a perfectly good apple and you stick it in the microwave and bake it, or do whatever you're going to do to it, you killed it. If you put it, you've killed the nutrients in it. Alright, so raw fruits and vegetables are the best way to get the antioxidants that you're seeking. Vitamin E, you want to find it? Where do you find it? Whole grains, nuts, seeds, vegetable oils. Now, you got to be careful with the vegetable oils. In fact, I think you need to be careful with all oils. Don't get overzealous with throwing a lot of oil in your diet. A lot of times we have this idea that more is better, and that's the case with oils. I don't care whether it's canola oil, whether it's coconut oil, any oils you can get carried away. There's a lot of calories in there, and still there's saturated fats and all these things you have to be aware of, even in some of the vegetable stuff. Vitamin C, citrus fruits. Now, there's been a couple of things that have been, you talk about selling people on stuff. Automatically, if I say vitamin C in a room, 100% of the people in the room will say the best place to get vitamin C is from what? An orange juice. But broccoli has like 3 or 4 times more vitamin C than an orange. But yet, the sales mechanism of the citrus growers has been so powerful that they have convinced us that vitamin C, the only place you can get it and the best place you can get it is from an orange. But yet, you can have a stalk of broccoli, you can have a couple of servings of, one serving of broccoli and get 3 times more vitamin C. So, and then carotenoids, yellow, orange, red fruits, and in some greens, dark green vegetables. Now, the carotenoids, think of it this way. When you see all these colors, like in this picture right here, you see all these different colors. Well, all these different colors come from what? The carotenoids. So you get different carotenoids that have different colors. Alright? And so, remember, we talked about a varied diet. So if you want to maximize your carotenoid equation here, what do? You don't eat just one type of fruit or vegetable. You want to try to have a varied diet where you're incorporating the reds, the greens, the oranges, the yellows. You're experimenting with different things. One of the things that I started doing is I'll say, okay, this week I'm gonna buy a different type of squash, and I'm gonna see how I can eat it and cook it or do whatever I want to do with it. I want to experiment, as we all should, with different fruits and vegetables. Don't get trapped into eating just the same thing. One of the biggest things that's happening in the world right now is we are doing away with the varieties of food. Like right now, when you get a corn product in this country, it's basically from one type of corn. When you get a turkey, those of you that do that stuff, if you get a turkey, it's basically from one line of turkey. I mean, it's like they've done away with all the different varieties, and you're left with one. So basically what we're doing with all our fruits and vegetables is they're coming down to one family of a particular fruit or vegetable versus the variety that used to be there. We used to have thousands of varieties of berries in this country, and now we're down to just a few because we find the ones that have the best disease resistance or whatever that makes economic sense for us to mass produce something, and we get rid of the other stuff and we leave the one. Well, that's not good for us. We need a variety because this is where we get all these carotenoids. All right, so keep that in mind as you do your grocery shopping each week.